Hello everybody, welcome to Just One Perspective. My name is Josh. Thank you so much for joining today. I know it's been a little while. I haven't had as much to say, which is unusual. Usually I can just talk and talk and talk, and it's actually kind of a pain to get me to shut up. So it's good to be back. I'll try to keep the momentum going now that I've done this video, and maybe next week I can just get back into the swing of things. I've got my coffee. Obviously I'm inside today because it's been pretty cold out there. So I've also been in and out of being sick and having injuries, and so I'm just all over the place. And then it's Christmas and holidays and everything gets crazy. So this kind of dropped to the lower end of my priority list. So I did try putting out one of those shorts last week. That was at the suggestion of my older brother Eric. So naturally I picked him as the subject of the short and picked out one of the things he said from our last video that we did together. So Merry Christmas. I know it's coming up. This will probably be the only video that I put out between now and then, so wanted to make sure to say that to everybody out there. Hope you have a wonderful holiday with all of your friends, your family, and there's zero bickering. Great food, and if you do gift exchanges, I hope that you give something amazing to your friends and family. Maybe you'll get something nice too. But it's not about that. It's nice to do that. I'm finding that it's I enjoy giving. I don't like shopping, but I enjoy the giving part of it more so than than receiving. And it's not so much about shopping for materialistic things anymore. I like to give different gifts. So I'd give you an example, but some of those people who would be a good example for whom I'm giving gifts to that aren't materialistic are probably watching, and I'm not a fan of spoilers. So no spoilers. We're not going to do that. So hang on, let me get some coffee here. You can probably tell I'm a little out of breath because I'm congested and I haven't worked out in like 2 weeks. So these lungs just don't work like they used to. Ugh, getting back into jiu-jitsu is going to be tough. So anyway, I have a quick message for everybody today, and it'll kind of bleed into another message that I've been thinking about, talking about, and that's really just don't take things personally. Detach from things, both in your personal life and when you're listening to the TV, which you shouldn't be watching TV much anyway, or whenever you hear politicians talk about things. People are just going to insult you. They're going to want to take your money. They're going to tell you that you're a bad person. They're going to tell you that because of certain immutable qualities that you may have been born with, that you owe them something, or that you are less of a person than them, or that you have some sort of original sin or something. And you got to detach from all of that. You've got to just not take it personally. Just know that a lot of these people are in bad places, or I'm not absolving them of their responsibility to not be thieves and try to take your money and stuff and try to make you feel bad. But it doesn't do you any good to just really harp on what they're saying or what they want from you or what they think they want from you. This is especially true as you climb the social strata, as you get higher and higher in, say, like the corporate world or whatever group you might find yourself in. Like I always mention your church group or something. Like if you become the pastor, right, for example. Lots of opinions are always going to be thrown your way, and the best thing you can do is take the ones that matter and move forward with those and discard all the rest. And you have to detach at some point. You have to just let it wash over you. Just have this sort of armor over your skin that's sleek and slippery so that nothing latches on, so that it just goes right past you and you don't have to worry about it. And this is also in your personal life. If people are saying things to you specifically, not everybody has tact. Not everybody is diplomatic. They're not the best at choosing their words, and so understanding that about them, and when they're just sort of fumbling through words and trying to say the right thing, but they say something that's really awkward or rude or something, try not to take it personally. If they mispronounce your name, look, it's probably not intentional. It's not a big deal, right? Things like that. Just let it wash over you. Just correct them and move forward, and it doesn't have to be a big deal. If they genuinely do insult you, what do you gain by worrying about what they have to think? Now, if it's somebody in your circle of colleagues or even friends whose opinion you really care about, then maybe that's a different matter. But I'm talking about overall in general when people are talking about you. Say you're a stage actor, or you do. We went and saw Lindsay Sterling on Thursday, and she had a story about reading an article that said she was not a great violinist, and all the comments agreed, and they were just vicious and pretty horrible to her, very critical of her work. And that's the kind of thing, well then fine, go listen to something else. You don't have to listen to my music. I had a very specific point about that, but I've forgotten what it is. I guess, it was actually just about the reading those comments. Just don't let it get to you. I mean, it's hard, it's easy to say that, hard to live it, but it doesn't really matter, right? It doesn't matter what all these people are thinking. As Lindsay here's my point here. As Lindsay Sterling is climbing the celebrity strata, I suppose you could say, the more and more she's going to be pelted and hit with comments of that nature, and more people are going to be critical of her work. That's just the nature of having more eyes on you. There's going to be a lot of people who like what you're doing, and a lot of people who just don't like what you're doing. And this is true for any organization or any group that you find yourself in, that you're gaining more responsibility and climbing sort of in the ranks. You're just going to have more eyes upon you. It can happen in your social group too. If you're the one always planning things and planning parties and stuff, or anything like that, your friends, some of your friends might be more critical, like, well, why couldn't we have done this? Why couldn't we have done that? And you're going to be like, look, I threw a party, man. That's it. That's what I did. So you can't let it get to you. Try not to let it get to you. Like I said, put that veneer of skin over a second skin over your skin, so that it can just wash off and you can just continue operating. Now, I'm finding for me personally, sometimes I just need to take a break from it all, and sometimes there's just too much feedback, and you just gotta stop doing what you're doing for a little bit, just so all of the noise can calm down. You can stop having eyes on you for a little bit. You can take a little break, and then you can, recharge a little bit and come back and get back into it. So that's my message today. Detach. Don't take things personally. Don't let it get to you. You're just going to cause more trouble if you do. You might lash out. You might get into drama, and drama is the worst thing for you. Unless that's your shtick. Unless that's how you want to become more of a celebrity, right? Just pull controversy to yourself. That might be one way, but I don't recommend it. I don't think it's good for you in the long run. I think just sort of being stoic. Read some works on Stoicism too. Marcus Aurelius, what's the name of his book? I've read it. I have it. It's upstairs, but I've forgotten it. It's like his memoirs, something like that. That's not what it's called, but it's something like that. Read up on Stoicism and what it means to just, as the world is going crazy around you, you just stand there and you just kind of watch it, and you're like, all right, well, there's not much I can do about all that. I'm just going to keep plowing forward and do the best I can right here, because that's what I have control over. So anyway, I hope that's helpful, everybody. Again, I hope you all have a very Merry Christmas. Thank you so much for listening today, and I will see you next time.